Сейчас вот будет страшный и великий Нил Фергюсон. Наверное, не все еще о нем среди вас, может быть, не все слышали. Хотя он, знаете, для историка это у него уникальное качество. Он селебрити, то есть он известный, его знают все. Вот с кем я там на Западе общался, там и, как говорится, и с политиками, и с рок-звездами и так далее. Все, ну, конечно, Нил Фергюсон, конечно, его все знают. И предприниматели, интерпренеры, в Silicon Valley. В общем-то, я очень горжусь, что у нас с ним сложились дружеские отношения. Я рад, что он уже несколько раз приезжал на Украину. Его Украина интересует. И вот он прилетел сегодня из Уэльса. Кстати, интересно, вот за него, как, скажем, за там, Барселона, Реал, Манчестер Сити, как сражаются, скажем, там за Гвардиолу или за Мауриньо. Вот за него сражались все лучшие университеты. И Оксфорд, и Гарвард. В конце концов, он перешел из Гарварда в Стэнфорд. Ну, ему больше в Стэнфорде сейчас понравилось. Но, в общем-то, он такой очень незаурядный, очень интересный. Я вас приглашаю всех потом еще, попробуйте тут поместиться, на публичную лекцию его. А сейчас Нил тоже обратится лично к вам, непосредственно к вам, и что-то пожелать. Что я не знаю. Это вот он держит в секрете, наверное, он сейчас готовился, слушал. Ну, я вам желаю получить вдохновение от великого и страшного Нила Фергюсона.
Спасибо, Victor. Parliamentarians, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. You succeeded. You got the green t-shirt. But at the same time, bad luck, because those who win prizes are forced to listen to speeches. And I remember when I was your age, how much I hated the speeches by people my age, especially the fourth one, which I thought would never end. And I still hate speeches, even really good ones like the last one. So I'm going to keep my speech short so you can get your prizes and get some fresh air and freedom, which is what you really care about at your age. You are the children of a revolution and a war. And that imposes certain responsibilities on you that were not imposed on me at your age. I grew up in a peaceful country. War was a distant memory by the time I was your age. And revolution had happened so many centuries before that only the history PhDs even knew about it. You are also the heirs of the toughest history that any nation has experienced in modern times. You may not be aware of it, but Ukraine almost certainly suffered more organized, lethal violence in the course of the 20th century than any other country. And it took multiple forms: revolution, civil war, world war. So you have a double responsibility. A responsibility not only to the recent past, but also to the more distant past of your great-grandparents and grandparents. But I agree with Julia. The future is more important than the past. Edmund Burke, the great Irish philosopher, writing in the 1790s, said that the true social contract was a relationship between the dead, the living, and the unborn. And you should think of yourselves as being in the middle of that social contract, that chain of being that connects you to your long dead ancestors, but also connects you to your unborn children. Children that you at your age can scarcely imagine having. And yet one day, they will be the most important things in your lives. There will only be opportunities for you and for your kids if in Ukraine there is true economic as well as political competition, a true rule of law, and corruption-free government. Those are the most pressing tasks for Ukrainians, and especially for young Ukrainians today. Now, I would not blame you for being a little pessimistic. I would not blame you for being a little cynical as you listened to the uplifting, inspiring speeches by us middle-aged people. After all, it is a world of economic volatility, a world of trade wars. It is a world where populists and even fascists, authoritarians, appear to be winning, and true liberal Democrats to be in retreat. It's a world of mass migration crises from Central America to the Mediterranean, all the way to the seas around Australia. It is a world of social media. Do you love social media, or does it make you crazy? I think you love it and it makes you crazy. Your generation is being affected by smartphones and social media in ways that are profoundly troubling to me. You have attention deficit disorder. You cannot inhabit the moment without taking a selfie. You have to check on social media to see if your latest utterance is liked. This stuff alone would drive a generation nuts. And we're only just beginning, because coming soon is artificial intelligence that will coincide, no doubt, disastrously with natural-born stupidity. And I haven't even mentioned quantum computing, because when the physicists in the room solve that problem, everything you ever wrote or said, no matter how it was encrypted, will be publicly available, and good luck when it is all published. In this world, you have a right to be young and pessimistic. And I am going to use just a few minutes of your day to advise you how to deal with all this really scary stuff. Because it is scary, and you need some defenses. Number one, you are all going on to further study. The most important thing to cultivate, no matter whether you are a physicist or a historian, no matter what you study, is critical thinking. you must be skeptical of what the middle-aged people tell you. You must be skeptical of what their books say. The most important thing is to doubt, to disbelieve. Secondly, free speech. Believe in free speech. Do not heed those who would prohibit hate speech here and hate speech there. You need to hear all the speech, the bad as well as the good. You need to see the nasty stuff as well as the nice stuff. Don't be a snowflake. You can take it. And don't ask to be protected by the grown-ups in safe spaces in case you are triggered. You are adults, and you should not be treated as children anymore. Free speech is the ultimate protection of a free society, and you should fight for it. Thirdly, demand diversity, but not just gender diversity, and not just ethnic or racial or religious diversity. Demand intellectual diversity. God preserve us from institutions of higher education where all the professors think the same way, say the same things, and vote for the same parties. Fourth, guard your privacy. You must have secrets. Not everything should be in the public domain. There cannot be a healthy public life without a true private life. And your generation is perhaps the first generation in history to be threatened with a complete loss of privacy. You must guard your privacy. Do not commit everything to digital media. If you want to communicate a secret, communicate it only to that one person that you trust. Do not broadcast it on Facebook to the world, because Facebook will share it with everyone it possibly can, whether you gave permission or not. Fifthly, build your own network. When I was your age, I thought success came from studying, and I studied alone. I sat in the library, I sat in my study, I voyaged in solitude. It took me years to realize that I could have learned so much more from my contemporaries, from older and from younger people, if I'd only cared about my network. By this I don't mean Facebook. By this I don't mean an online social network that just anybody can join. I mean the network of your family and friends, the trusted network. And that is a network you should keep off social media. No, a WhatsApp group is not secure. Do not kid yourself. Keep your real network private. Share in that network in pubs, not on the internet. I have one more piece of advice. Travel. See the world. But don't abandon your home. Travel is good. Emigration has a finality to it that you might come one day to regret. That's enough advice. Now let me remind you of two things. Number one, you are talented, but some of your success is just luck. You just got lucky. You got that good grade not because you rocked the examination, but because the examiner was in a good mood and not a bad mood when the paper was graded. You were lucky. On the way to the examination, your bus did not break down. Somewhere out there in Kiev, perhaps in Odessa, there is someone smarter than you, but less lucky, who doesn't have a green t-shirt and isn't getting your opportunity. Remember that person because he hates you. Finally, I was asked not so long ago what I thought the most powerful force in history was. Was it, asked my pessimistic interlocutor, hate? No, I said. The most powerful force in history is cowardice. Cowardice. Because it's the cowardice of those who don't stand up that nearly always decides the outcome in any country, in any crisis. I've come to fear cowardice much more than I fear hatred, because the haters are very few, but the cowards are enormous in number. That's why I'm going to conclude with two final suggestions. Be lucky, but above all, be brave. Thank you very much indeed.